All right. Welcome to another edition. My name is Beau Flasher. I'm your host this evening. Every evening. Unless you want my dog to jump in. Some of you are going to write that. I understand. That's fine. Okay. Well, let's see here. Tonight we're talking about emotions. What are emotions? Oh, by the way, you can go to www.awayunseen.com or beauflasher.com to download the A Way Unseen book, which describes everything in further detail. I've found that these videos are more conducive to understanding for people. Sometimes reading just doesn't deliver the message. Certainly doesn't for me. I prefer listening to people speak and watching somebody actually talk about something and see their reaction and things like that. Anyway, I'm rambling on. Emotions. So what are emotions? Well, emotions are created within the body and they affect thought chemically, right? That's it. Emotions start below the neck and affect thought like a wave, a rush, affect thought chemically. So throughout the day, and by the way, we found a really good way to control our emotions and not have to feel. Because in this society, feeling, it's not going to get you too far. You're going to be, you're going to be judged in a way that is through people's minds, right? Because we've been programmed not to feel. When we feel, we lose control. That's huge. That is a huge concept. When we feel, we lose control. So we don't want to feel. We choose not to feel. We choose to do something else instead of feel, like, download the newest app or watch TV or watch sports or project it onto somebody else or substance, right? Alcohol, drugs. We don't want to feel because when we feel, we lose control. And when we lose control, we're able to see areas that are very painful for us. That's the way to find access to your primary fears. Feeling. You're not going to be able to combat the power of the mind, right? It takes time to understand the thought forms you've created to block yourself like a vault out of areas that you don't want to be looking into. And one way to help you do that is to feel and allow emotions to affect your thoughts. Now, when emotional rushes, right? Say something gets you angry or sad, when they hit the area right below the head, your mind has the ability to squash them down. It will use chemicals emitted from your body. It will use chemicals and your own organically produced substances within the body to squelch emotions because the mind understands it loses control. Now, that sounds ridiculous. The next time you feel an emotional rush, be aware, use consciousness to view yourself in that moment, and you'll understand that concept more in detail. So, one way to override the mind and its ability to control is to allow emotional rushes, large, or how would you describe big, right? Like a lot of emotion to just override your mind. It's almost like a tidal wave that comes in and takes a minute to sort of flush back down. So emotions are our strength. Emotions are our strength. We found that the programming within our minds and the way in which we choose to project fear and control onto others is not conducive to feeling. And emotions are seen as a weakness within the mind. That's just programming. That's programming. And choosing to feel it may be associated to emotions, but you can choose to feel without emotion, release control, and you don't have to cry. You don't have to just get angry on the spot. Choosing to feel is just a releasing control. Emotions may represent the next layer of choosing to feel, right? The more chemically induced choice. Because when you allow emotions to come in, right, and push up from your body, they're very hard to control. And we've found that we're actually very good at it. If you watch a kid and their emotional spectrum, that's you. That's us. That's who we are. We just figure out ways to control it over time, right? Kids, their reactions, right? They get ice cream. Woo, it's crazy. It's the greatest thing in the world. The ice cream drops on the ground. Oh my God, they start crying. That's who you are. That's your emotional spectrum. You've used your mind, or a lot of us, I know I have used our minds to control those areas because we'll be judged. And can you imagine me, a 30, 35-year-old man going into downtown, with ordering ice cream, and I'm freaking out. I'm like so excited. Everyone's going to be staring at me. And then if I drop it on the ground, I start crying. I mean, are you kidding me? So emotions are emitted, right? They're pushed up from the body, and they affect thought chemically, and they allow us to feel. They allow us to choose to see ourselves. The majority of the time, we choose to see ourselves through, not emotions, right? We choose to see ourselves through injury, through storing it in the body. An emotional rush hits up. I don't like using the word subconsciously, but we choose not to feel, and we choose to store it, right? We choose to store it in the shoulder or the back, and it affects us. It affects our choices. My message would be to choose to feel and engage your emotions. Now, this is important. I'll wrap up with this. When an emotion is hitting you, and say you hit your finger, right? You cut your finger, you hit your finger with a hammer, or someone's really getting you worked up, or you're about to cry in a movie theater, and there's a bunch of people around. You don't want people to see you cry. I don't know, whatever. You don't want to feel an emotion, and you feel it coming on. Don't choose to store it, which means when you feel it, don't just block it back down, because then it gets into your body and you become tight and you get locked up. And if you do that enough, you'll blow out your shoulder, or your knee will snap, right? Or you break a bone. You do that enough, that's how injuries, right, start. You're just choosing to store layers of fear, right? And emotional forms, right? Emotional outbursts along with thought, and then we store it in the body. Don't do that. You can, but it's not going to work that well. You may choose to engage the emotion and then push it out the back of your head, and don't allow it to come up into the space within your head, the mind's eye, where the mind chooses to control. So allow the emotion to hit, right, to push up, and then like an exhaust valve or like a steam pipe, just shoot it out the back. Sadness, anger, whatever emotion is hitting you, right? That's just the mind defining the name of it. It's a chemical rush. Okay, allow yourself to push it out through the back. We have like an exhaust valve. Maybe you didn't know that. Now you know. We have an exhaust valve that runs out the back of the head. Push your emotions out that way. That works very well for me. I used to have a lot of pain, and I don't have much pain anymore. I really don't. And I'm using these techniques, pushing emotions out instead of choosing to store them, choosing to feel, releasing control within my eyes and blurring my focus, right? Blur the focus within your eyes, and you'll release control. If you have glasses, take them off, right? It'll help you feel. Choose to feel in those moments. So I use these techniques throughout the day, and it's fantastic. I'm pushing focus out of the mind. I'm engaging my emotions. I'm choosing to feel. I'm releasing control of my eyes by blurring my focus. I'm choosing with my heart instead of my mind. I'm healing myself. I'm healing others. Emotions are very powerful, and they're our strength, not our weakness. Don't listen to your mind. Don't listen to anybody else who says that emotions are weak, because they have a lot of fear. Whoever says that has a lot of fear in choosing to see themselves, right? Kind of like the bully mentality. Someone's out there messing with others and pushing others down. It usually means that they're holding a lot of pain. Okay, well, thank you for joining me yet again. And emotions, they're your friend. They're not. Don't store them. Let them pump out, and And don't listen to your mind. Your mind has an agenda. Choose to engage your emotions.